Hi, this is Professor William Wagner, and it's Faith and Freedom Friday. We've had quite a week this week. There's been a huge attack on freedom, especially freedom of expression and freedom of conscience in the Michigan legislature. We had bills moving through the legislature where citizens were not even allowed to look at the bills as they were being changed and voted on in committee. As of today, I'm still not able to get access to them other than through inside conversations with specific legislators who've provided them to us. But that's not good for democracy if you don't have transparency. It's not good for a republic that's based on representation, where your representatives are supposed to be sharing information with you in a transparent way, especially information they're voting on. And here's the things that we didn't have access to. They're taking conduct and changing it into speech. They're taking speech rather and turning it into a crime. And so, it is originally written. It was so bad that the far left advocacy organizations even told them, "Look, this is you can't do this." And so, what is my understanding is that they've changed it now, and so they're still defining words like intimidate in such a vague and arbitrary way that it would allow enforcement authorities to, the way I'm reading it, prosecute a pastor who's reading the Bible, on the street, or prosecute a reporter who writes a few stories, or prosecute a member of a church, that is just sharing the gospel in a way that somebody finds offensive. And here's the problem with that. When you define a crime as something that is determined to be a crime after the conduct, as opposed to before the person acts, then something becomes a crime based on what the listener perceives. And so if the listener perceives the speech as something as edifying, and, oh wow, you've changed my mind, I am now going to think about this issue differently, nothing illegal happened. But if the listener perceives the communication as intimidating, and again as vaguely defined in the law, now all of a sudden the speaker has committed a felony. And so imagine the kind of power that gives an enforcement authority to pick and choose who they are going to say is a criminal. That is not good for Christian people. Everywhere in the world where laws like this have been passed by governing authorities, it has led to the persecution of Christians. And I'll point out, in these other places in the world where these kind of things were passed, there was no First Amendment in those countries. And so as passed here, it violates the First Amendment. I believe it also violates the right to due process, because the cornerstone of due process is the right to be given notice of what is a crime. And you have no idea of whether what you are uttering is going to be deemed a crime or not, because you've got no idea of how the listener is perceiving themselves or perceiving the words that you're uttering. So not a good week for freedom of conscience. Another law that's being moved quickly through the legislature that's just as bad for professional counselors is a law that under the guise of regulating therapy, the legislature is again regulating speech. They're banning speech and banning conversations by a counselor that would advance. I'm sorry, they're banning speech of a counselor that is inconsistent with the political sexual agenda of the left, and they are basically compelling speech that is consistent with that political agenda. That's again a huge chill on freedom of expression. Because if you know you're going to lose your license, if you know you're going to lose your capability to make a living, if you know you're going to lose your ability to help a child, you're going to stop talking. You're going to stop having conversations. This bill is particularly gruesome in the sense that it is prohibiting conversations that could help save a child's life. And with Prop 3 that passed in the last election, the way I read all this together, all this could be happening to a child, and the parents not even being able to be involved or even know that it is happening. So first, you're silencing a doctor's ability to help a child, and second, you're keeping a parent from even knowing that the child is struggling in a particular area. So we're entering into some very interesting times here in the great state of Michigan, or at least what used to be the great state of Michigan. There is a nationwide study that just came out. I believe it was published in the Christian Post this week, showing Michigan at the very bottom of the states with regard to protection for religious conscience. And so it's time for Christian people to boldly stand for truth. We continue to do so with compassion and respect. We continue to do so with an understanding that every human being is made in the image of God, and therefore every human being is worthy of being treated with dignity and respect, including being treated by the government with dignity and respect. And all people, not just those preferred by those who are holding political power, but all citizens of the state of Michigan, including people that find their identity someplace else, such as the death and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. So may I leave you today encouraging you to fiercely stand for truth. Do it with compassion and respect. Understand what is happening around you, though, in the state, and get involved. Be an involved citizen who shares the heart of Jesus in all you do. Until next time, this is Professor William Wagner, and this has been Faith and Freedom Friday.